What's up, guys? So, I know everyone is tired about hearing about Jake Paul, and I realize people are probably like talking about Jake Paul to death right now. But all those other like exposed videos and all of those other videos, I'm gonna get more myself in. Sorry, I'm like all sweaty. I was outside. I realize all these exposed videos, they're trying to get views off of Jake Paul. But when they talk about Jake Paul, when they show clips of him, you know, they don't know the real Jake. They don't know the real Jake Paul. They really don't. I used to live in Ohio, and I've known Jake and Logan Paul for a while, since like elementary school. Before they got famous, all of that. This is real. I'm going to tell you the story of how I met Jake and Logan Paul back when I was in Ohio. This is 100% real story. This is not fake. I'm not going to show any clips of Jake's tomfoolery because that's not relevant to this story at all. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but I need to tell the real story of like what they were like. No one has come out. I saw tweets from that one dude who tweeted about going to elementary school with him. He has not come out and said anything else other than he was bullied by Jake Paul. I want to give the real story. I want to give my testimony. I want to the real Jake Paul, the real Jake and Logan Paul, the Paul brothers. So back in Ohio, I was back when I was in like maybe middle school. I'm more acquainted with Jake's older brother Logan because we were around the same age. Jake not so much, but he was there. So one time in class in middle school, Logan and I, you know, we were partnered up for a science project. So I had to go to his house to do the science project. We were supposed to make we're supposed to like test pH balance in water or something. That's not relevant to the story, but so I went to his house. We couldn't go to my house. It was being fumigated at the moment. Went to his house for the science project. And Logan in school, he was very popular in school, you know. All the girls liked him. I was pretty much a nobody. I went to like an all-white school, so all of the girls they only wanted the white guys. I know, it's fucked up. So they all wanted Logan. Logan was like a jock. He was a pretty boy. Everyone loved him. So when I was paired up with Logan, when they announced that we were paired up, we looked at each other and I waved at him, and then he looked away. He looked away. So that's kind of a jerk thing right there. I think he thought he was even at that time, their egos were pretty high. And even Jake Paul, even though he's like younger than me, he also had like a big ego. I remember walking in school and some random kids would like walk by him and he'd just like shove them. He'd just like push them. And then the kid would look back at him and then Jake Paul would be like, "What?" And then the kid would just walk up and be on his way. So I went to Logan's house. His mom is the nicest woman, one of the nicest women I've ever met. She's a sweetheart. His dad, not so much. His dad would, I walked in, I'll explain that, I'll get to that part. So I went to Logan's house, his mom offered me cookies, and I'm like, okay, sure. Jake was there too, he was playing Xbox, he was playing Halo. Sorry, I keep looking all around, I want to look at myself on the webcam. But I know that if I look directly into the webcam, I feel like I'm actually talking to you guys. So Jake was playing Xbox in the background, and he's playing Halo. And then he looked at me. Jake Paul looked at me and said, "Who is this dork?" Yeah, he said that. He said that. Logan said, "This is just, don't worry about him. He said to me, don't worry about him. He's an idiot." And I'm like, okay. But then Logan looked back at him and like Jake Paul winked at Logan. And that was kind of, I just felt unsafe in that environment, you know? Because they were the big popular guys at school. And it was just tough. It was like, I felt like they wanted to like beat me up. So then I go to Logan's room, and we start working on the science project. And then Jake comes in again, and he's like, "Hey, nerd." And then he pushes me to the ground. And I didn't say anything. I'm very shy. I'm like, I don't know how to react in those kind of situations. You can ask anybody I know. I don't know how to react in those situations. So he pushed me to the ground. He's like, "Hey, nerd." And I look back at him, like frightened, like this. So Logan just starts laughing. He doesn't like do anything. And Jake's like, "What? You want to fight? You want to fight?" While smiling, he like said that. And I'm just like, "No, I just want to do the science project." So then this is where things kind of get messed up. And this is true. This is 100% true. So Jake's like, "Hey, Logan, hold him down." He holds me down. Logan holds me down. And I'm just like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" So then Jake Paul lifts up my shirt. He lifts up my shirt. And then he just starts punching me and punching me and punching me. And it just hurts. It hurts so bad. He's a muscular guy. I'm not. I'm skinny fuck. And I was middle school, so imagine how like weak I was then. It was just kept punching me and punching me and punching me. So when people say they're bullies, it's true, but they don't know the real story. But that's not the end of the story. So he keeps punching me and punching me. And then Logan Paul starts licking my ear. I shit you not. I shit you not. He starts licking my ear. And then he whispers in my ear, "You do not have enough hatred." And then I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean? In my head, I didn't say it out loud. In my head, I'm like, what does that mean? I'm just frightened. I can't say anything. So then Jake Paul then does something very bizarre I've never seen anyone do. He starts dabbing. He starts dabbing. He just keeps dabbing and dabbing and dabbing, and I'm frightened. I'm like, what is he doing? And dabbing was not a big thing at that point. I think maybe he invented dabbing. I don't know. It was very bizarre because dabbing was not invented at that point. So maybe, I don't know. That's weird. So he kept dabbing. And then he gets out a fidget spinner. Very similar to, let me see if I can, yeah, this one. Very similar to this one. He starts fidget spinning. He spins the fidget spinner and he like rubs it all over my face. And he's like, "How do you like that, brown boy?" So yeah, he keeps doing that. Rubbing it against my, that was loud, sorry. Just rubbing it against my face. And then he keeps dabbing some more. He dabs some more. And at this point, I've had enough. I've had enough of this behavior. I've had enough of this bullying. So I break free. I push Logan aside. And I grab like the nearest thing I can find. And the nearest thing I can find is like a pen. And I can't really do much with a pen. But I like hold it like this. And then I'm like, don't do anything you're going to regret. And then Jake's like, "I'm not afraid of you, you stupid brown boy. You stupid fucking brown boy." So then Jake starts chanting something. He starts chanting something. I'm going to tell you what he chanted. "I am the dab of my salt. Dab is my..." I said it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember. You have to realize this was a long time ago. It's going to be hard to remember the exact chant. I am the bone of my dab. Dab is my body. Dab is my blood. I have created over 1,000 dabs, unknown to death, nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many dabs. Yet those hands will never win anything, and so I pray. Unlimited dab works. And he starts dabbing and dabbing and dabbing, and then like a million copies of him. Just we're not in his room anymore. We're we're transported. We're transported to like another, like a battlefield of some sort, and just a million copies of him were just standing in place, dabbing and dabbing and dabbing. And I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? Logan's not there at that point. He like just disappeared. It's just me and Jake, and there's a million copies of him dabbing and dabbing and dabbing. And then I'm just like, what is going on? My pen turns into a snake, and I throw it on the ground. And the snake slithers back to Jake, and Jake kneels down to the snake, and the snake goes in his hands, and then he puts the snake in his mouth. And then, at that point, I realize I have to do what must be done. I have to do it. So, I pull from my pocket one of the Chaos Emeralds. I was in possession of one of the Chaos Emeralds. And then I go, Chaos, control! I teleport behind Jake. Jake turns around and is like, what are those? In response to my Chaos Emerald. And then I punch Jake in the stomach. And as I do it, I say, Detroit. No, I don't say Detroit. I say, I'm not left-handed, so I'm gonna do it with my right hand. I say, Ohio, smash! And then I smash him in the stomach with my punch. And then things get super real at that point. Oh my god. Okay, so Jake gets up from the ground. The million copies of him dabbing start like converging onto Jake himself. And then he starts dabbing, and as he dabs, like the right hand that dabs like hits my face, and he's slapping me. And he says, Dabsy roll! Instead of like the Dempsey roll, he says Dabsy roll, and he starts dabbing and like punching me back and forth. And then I discover on the ground the other 6 Chaos Emeralds are there. So I get the other 6 Chaos Emeralds with my 7th Chaos Emerald, and then I start charging up. I start charging up. And then I start singing. Live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. And then I turn to Super Persian, because my name is Persian Version. So I go to Super Persian. I become Super Persian Version at that point, and my hair turns gold. And then he's like, you're white now? And then I'm like, Jake, you mess with me for the last time. Your unlimited dab works will not defeat me. So then I start putting my hands together. And then I say, if I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go. And then I launch my attack. And it's a beam. My beam goes straight at Jake. It goes straight at Jake. And Jake dabs it and hits it out of the way. This guy is powerful. You don't understand. Jake is powerful. Then something bizarre pops up. So in the back, behind him, a giant head. This head is huge. It is a giant head appears from the ground. And it's Nick Crompton's head. Jake knew Nick Crompton at that time. You know Nick Crompton, the England is my city guy? His head pops up from the ground. And then he's like, my head be poppin'. He's like, my head be poppin'. And then he says, England is my city. And then Big Ben he spits out a million copies of Big Ben from his mouth. You know the tower Big Ben? He spits out Big Bens, and they come straight at me, and I have to punch them all out of the way. I break each one with my Super Persian Version power. So then I realize the Super Persian form is not enough to take on this beast. So I go Super Persian God, Super Persian. So then my hair turns blue. And Jake's like, oh my god, it's Hitler's dream, blue hair this time though. So Jake starts dabbing some more, and he's like, I summon the Blue Eyes Dab Dragon, and then a giant dragon pops, and it's the face of Tessa Brooks, you know, the girl that's like, I smell good. And then she starts breathing cologne. She's like, it's your boy's cologne. She enveloped me in cologne, and I can't breathe at that point. And it's just enveloping me. It's just, I can't breathe. my boy's cologne is just surrounding me. And then Jake's like, what are you gonna do now, you bitch? And then he points to my shoes. I am wearing shoes. I was not wearing shoes before when I got teleported here. I'm now wearing shoes. He points to my shoes and he says, what are those? And then my shoes get caught on fire and they burn me and envelop my body and I'm paralyzed. I can't do anything. It's like the most traumatic experience of my life. And then I did the only thing I could do. I did the thing that is unforgivable. I got a piece of chalk from my pocket. I drew a circle, a small circle. And then I'm like, Jake, this is the end. I clap my hands like this. I put it down in the circle. And then I perform human transmutation. It's forbidden. Don't arrest me, police. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then everything disappears. I gave up my ability to go Super Persian and Super Persian, God Super Persian, to defeat Jake. And then we're back in his room. He's passed out. His brother's passed out. The science project gets magically finished. We got a C on the science project. No, we didn't get a C. We got a B. We got a B on the science project, by the way. So at that point, I was going to mention I got to his dad. His dad walks in. And he has a copy. I see him with a magazine of a Playboy magazine. He has a Playboy magazine in his hand. He's like, I want to kiss this 18-year-old. And he shows it to me. And then I'm like, why, sir? And then he's like, come here, bitch boy. And then he tries to kiss me. And at that point, I get out of there. You know, I grab my pants, I grab my shirt, and I get out. And then I get out of there, and then I go home. And every time, this is 100% true. Every time I tell the story, people's like, is that true? And I'm like, yes, that is true. That actually happened. So this is the real Jake Paul. You don't know the real Jake Paul. I do. So get your facts straight. And that's my story. So if you enjoy the story, I guess give it a like, subscribe. I feel like I have to say those things, otherwise people won't do it. This is a very emotional video for me. I almost cried. So yeah, see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.